Hi, this is Dave Gimberline. It is March 10th, and this is the at-home training session on Zoom for the University of Minnesota Shotokan Karate Club. You are welcome to train along. So, feet together, out, pick up one foot, go around with your ankle and toes, switch other way, other foot, other way. Feet together, around with your knees, other way. Feet apart, around with your hips, other way. Use your legs, pump your arms around. Switch. Cross, twist, kick up your heels, hold on just a second. One foot in front, swing your back leg up to hit your hands. One, swing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch feet. Kick a little harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Put your feet apart a little bit and squat all the way down. Put your hands on the floor, straighten your legs. Squat, straighten, squat, straighten, squat, straighten, and squat. Put your feet out behind you. Arch. Push back. Touch your chest to the floor. Forward again. Pull your feet in. Squatting. Feet apart. Keep it up. Stretching down and forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. And back. Reach over one shoulder. Switch. Side. Switch. Around with your torso. And switch away. And stop. Back, keep it up. Pivot to your right, thrusting. Turn, face the other way. Turn, stretching deeper. Ball your foot, drop your hip, reach up, open the arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together, twist, look over your right shoulder, touch your head to the floor by your front foot. All right, we're going to do the modified push-ups here. Put both hands on the floor. Try to get a straight line from your shoulder to your heel. Drop your whole body down to the floor and come back up. 1, down and back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up. Nice straight leg. Stretch down to the front. Come back up. 2, up. 3, reach further. 4, 5. Try your other hand. 1, reach as far as you can. 2, exhale. 3, 4, 5. Turn, face the other way, thrusting deep. Ball your foot, drop your hip, reach up. Open the arms like you're holding a giant ball. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Twist, look over your left shoulder. Touch your head to the floor by your front foot. And back up, both hands on the floor. Straighten your body out. All the way down and back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back up with your legs straight. Reach down with the same side and exhale. 1, reach. 2, reach further. 3, 4, 5. Switch the other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep it up. Straighten one leg. Switch. 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 Switch and drop down. Switch. 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 And switch. Stay on the side. Rotate all the way over. Stretch the outside of your right leg. Back. Over. Back. Over. Back. Over. And back. So you may have noticed the windows behind me, it was black when we started and now it's pretty light out. Switch. Say passing thunderstorm and or tornado warning. All the way over. Stretch the outside of your thigh. Back. Over. Back. Over. Back. Over. And back. Pull your feet in. Squatting. Put your hands on the floor. Straighten your legs. Roll up. Round with your hip. Switch. Side, side. Squeeze one knee up into your chest. Switch. 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 And switch. Reach around behind. Grab an ankle. Switch. Switch. And switch. Shake out your legs. Turn it straight to uniform. Warming up a little bit. Some of these we'll have to introduce a little slowly. Renee hasn't been through all of them, so feet together, bend your knees. Put your hands out at your own solar plexus height. Pick up one knee to touch your hands. Keep your shoulders down, keep your head up. One, up, down, other leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. You can shake your leg a little bit if you want. You're going to try a front snap kick. You're going to leave your hands here if you want. You don't have to if you've been doing this a while. Pick up your knee, front snap kick and recoil, and then put it back down. But make sure it's touching your hands the whole time. I do not want you to go one and your legs down here on the recoil. So it's one, recoil down. Ready? Let's alternate legs. 1, snap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll your hips. We're a roundhouse kick. So Renee, I don't think you've done roundhouse kicks much. You're going to put your feet so they point out and put your knees so they point away from each other. So this is an awkward way to stand. It looks funny. You're going to pick up one leg, but keep it far away from the other one. Don't let your knee come in when you kick or when you come down. Okay, so you're going to pick your leg up. It's going to go around in a circle and come back down. Then you do the other leg. So you're trying to kick sideways with the ball of your foot. Knees out, heels in. 1, around, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty good. Round your hip again. Switch. Side snaps, same problem for Renee, but for everybody, try to keep your body pretty straight up and down. One side is going to push down while the other side lifts up. It is okay if your hips turn towards the target when you side snap, because there's a spot there where it's a little easier to move. It is not okay if you extend your hip when you're trying to side snap. That's more indicative of a thrust. So right now, you're just warming up your hip a little bit. I will say this, in the front snap kick, your hip should swing forward a little bit when you snap. In the side snap kick, your hip should swing just a little bit when you snap. So we will try, we'll alternate sides. Over to one side, side snap. 1, snap, out, down. Other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out with your hips. Now we're only going to do a back thrust. and not the side thrust right now. The back thrust, just like your hip went forward for the front snap, for the back thrust, it goes backwards and you hit with your heel like you're kicking. So just from here, you're going to pick your heel up, thrust backwards and put it back down. And then we'll do the other side. It is also okay if you practice your arms. They cross across, you kick, they cross the other side, you kick. So you're training that muscle memory. One thing you do not want for your hands to go the other way when you're kicking. Cindy, you can kind of pretend like you're doing an inside block on the side you're kicking on. Right now you're burying, that's better. You have a habit though. So I want this hand to be this way, and you have it in there when you're kicking. Better. What happens on the other side? Nope. Yep. Better, yay. Now everybody, you might already know this, but try not to turn your hip towards the target. So I don't want to kick this way and have my hip be sideways. I want my hip to point straight down towards the ground. When you kick, it's just a stronger place to be for a back thrust. If you were doing a side thrust, it would be a different idea. Kicking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right up. All right, rest for a second. You can shake out your legs any way you want. So when we do warm-up stuff like that, or when you first start doing movements across the floor, which we'll do in a minute, don't strain yourself at all. You just kind of try to get yourself warmed up. At the same time, it's worth doing it as correctly as possible without strain. So if I'm going to, I don't know, side snap, I guess, I want to pick my knee up with my foot in, lightly snap, come back, and then down. I don't want to try so hard that I'm hurting my, or, oh man, those are sore. They shouldn't be sore, you're just warming up. You're just trying to get your body moving a little bit. That was good, John Noel. All right, let's try a little bit of punching. Feet together, about feet apart. Left hand out, right hand at your side. Punching for your own center, solar plexus height, sort of. Just exchange your arms slowly right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Punch a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Run with the arms. Most of you already know this, but I want you to think this way. Instead of thinking that my punching hand is pushing away from my body, and there's a little bit of that in the punch, I want you all to concentrate more on your drawing side pulling. So imagine that you're hanging onto a handle and you squeeze it, and your center and legs and butt cheeks start to pull on the handle. You're going to pull all the way down to the floor of your foot. So your structure, your bones stay nice and straight and tall, and your hand pulls. Okay, so we're going to try that. Reach out with your left, grab onto the handle. pull down to the floor. 1, pull. Grab onto the handle, pull. 2, pull. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to do this a little bit. Kibadachi. This is good for people without a lot of room. Left hand out, right hand at your side. Renee, feet further apart. Bend your knees. Bend your hip joints. Rachel, your feet can be further apart. Yufeng, that's just right. Put your arm out. Cindy, you're doing good, but your knees are out a little bit too far. They should just kind of be between your center and your feet, not outside. Yes? Better. And then bend a lot. Ready? Pull all the way down to your heel. 1, pull. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hurry up for a second, shake out your legs. We're going to try 2 punches. When you do this, again, I want you to pay attention to your drawing arm, and it pulls and it pulls and it pulls and it pulls until it bounces back out again. So it's not 2 separate punches like people think, punch, punch. It's more like this pulls and then releases. So it kind of goes whoop, like it bounces a little. Okay, all the way down to your feet though. Left hand out, right hand at your side. 2 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch hands, other hand out, double punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, rest. Swing out your legs again. Okay, switching stances. This is a little tricky. You're going to be in a kibadachi, and you're going to pivot both feet to kind of face 45 degrees to the side. Maybe a little more, maybe even a little less. But you're not trying to switch all the way over here where you have to move your feet to go straight sideways. You're just going to pivot them from wherever they are to kind of a 30, 45 degree angle. And then we're going to come back to center. Then you're going to pivot again. But you're trying to do a real front stance and a real kibadachi and then a real front stance. So you can't leave that foot there and punch like this and just leave your foot there. It should have turned and helped you move. Right now, Cindy, your hips are out just a little bit. Better. You do more. Here we are, back to center. Put your left hand out. You're going to turn to your left, punch with your right, this way. 1, back to center, double punch. 2, other way, this way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Everybody stay nice and straight and tall. Kneel, lift your chest up a little bit. You're a little hunched sometimes. And everybody, when you move, stay nice and straight and tall so your whole spine just pivots. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I talked about your drawing arm before. Use your drawing arm and pull through your center all the way to your back heel that way, rather than pushing out and away that way. Right arm out for now. Pivot and punch. 1, pull together. Now pull 2 times for the double punch. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey up, that's good enough. All right, rest, check out your legs. So last class, we were working on the body dynamics for all of the major kicks. I want to reinforce that just a little bit. So we're going to move across the floor. Renee, how much room do you have to do steps? It doesn't look like very much. Can you do 2 steps? All right. We'll keep trying for 2 and see how that goes. So, everybody back up. We can bow, I guess. Put your left leg in front, get in Bassai. Then pick your hands up just in front of you. In fighting position, you're going to do a front snap kick with your back leg and step forward. 1, snap. 2, snap. Now take your back leg, turn over, and we'll go back the way you came from. 1, 2. Back leg over and turn. 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 1, 2. Turn. High up. High rest. Yeah, so Renee, if you have more room going sideways, that's fine. You can go sideways instead of forward and back. I often switch from forward and back to sideways just so people can see the difference on the sides. You guys can always do whatever you want. We're going to work on the good recoil for the front kick and the idea of returning the pressure to your back leg. So I want you to recoil your leg, and I don't want you to just teeter-totter like this. I want you to build pressure down to the floor. So your kick should go out back and then down. So the pressure goes from here to here to here to the floor that way to give you pressure to go the other way. And we're going to make it both easier and harder. You're going to grab your leg with both hands and pull it in tight to you. So when you do that, you're going to hold it and still make that pressure down to the floor. That's good. So Renee, you don't want your leg out there, you want it right in the middle of you. Yep, perfect. So give yourself some room. We'll do 2 kicks, we'll turn, we'll do 2 more. Any leg in front you want, your left probably if you're going to copy me like a mirror. Here's your hands, you're going to hook your own leg with your fingers together and cups. Don't, people have actually broken and dislocated their fingers by kicking their own finger. So put them together, hook, and hug your leg in. So this is the first couple practices. Here we go. 1, hug your leg. 2, step down. 1, hug your leg. 2, turn. hug your leg, 2, 1, 2, turn, 1, hug your leg, 2, 1, 2. So it looks like it's getting easier for everybody. So good job. Turn. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, turn. We're going to try to hold that same recoil without grabbing. So sometimes what happens is you start and your recoil sucks. It's kind of like that. I make you grab your leg and it's like, hey, that's not bad. Look, my knee's up there, I'm in close. And then I make you do it without grabbing, and maybe it's better than it was, but it's not as good as it was when you were grabbing. Make it as good as when you were grabbing. So if you were here on the grab, be here with no grab. Try to get that feeling like your leg is coming in close to you, not like it's far away. One more thing, after the release, after the recoil, when I say 2, you are going to move forward in a very smooth, controlled manner. You are not going to kick and go 1, 2. Oh God. 1, 2. You're just going to avoid that forever for the rest of your life in karate. Or, for that matter, walking around your house. I have noticed people walk, bang, 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 bang. And do your bst to control where you're going all the time. Doesn't mean you're not going to slip and fall, but it might mean you have a little better control of it, and it'll help you move if you need to. So there's lots of little things that you can be aware of that you're walking around campus, you're in a hurry. See if you can walk from your center. Imagine you're walking, moving. Your center reaches out with your foot when you move, not just clomp, 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 clomp. So, harder going up steps, but yet I notice it going up and down steps. So, anyway, try a couple kicks with the recoil. Here we go. Arms in front. 1, hold. 2, down gracefully. 1, hold, 2, turn, 1, 2, 1, 2, turn. Now we're going to punch. You could punch many different ways after this kick, but really there's 3 main options. The first one is I can do a reverse punch or a counter punch. So I keep trying to figure out how I'm going to show you that. If I kick with this leg, I can punch with this hand now. The other obvious way is I kick with this leg and I punch with the same side arm. Right now, there's good reasons to do both. Right now we're going to punch with the same side arm. The 2 major variations of that are if I kick and my hips are relatively straight, do I punch with them relatively straight or do I twist when I land? Again, both are good for different reasons. Right now, I'll try to keep them straight. So this is more of a control idea. You want to see if your inner thighs and your center can lead to the target. You kick towards the target, you punch towards the target, nothing deviates to the side. If you do start to twist because you need it for the range or it seems to fit the dynamic at the time, you do have to be careful. It's a pretty unstable thing to do. So it's not that it's impossible, it's just you have to be careful. 2 counts. First kick, second punch with the hand on the same side. So everybody put your left leg in front. Put your left arm out if you want, and we'll just leave it there. 1, kick and hold. 2, punch from the same side. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, 1, 2, turn. Straight hips, Yufeng, not twisted. 1, straight, straight. 2, sorry, I forgot to say 2, I was just watching. 1, 2, turn. High up for a second. So again, there's lots of reasons to change a drill and do it differently. Some of you have learned that your hand should always recover. So you're here and you're going to kick and you do this, or you leave it there for a little bit and then you do this and then you punch. There's excellent reasons to recover in the middle, but right now for this training, I want you to leave your arm out. So your hand is going to drive into the target and give you direction from your center, and your body follows that, and this hand follows that. It stays right along that same line. So that center, 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 kick, center, punch, center. This will help your torso stay straighter and more stable. And then I've mentioned to many of you many times about your drawing side. So here's my drawing arm. If this arm is getting looser this way, it probably means my body is also getting looser. To combat that, crank this in just a little bit. The inside of your arms and the inside of your thighs should relate to each other. So you're going to squeeze a little, squeeze a little, squeeze as you kick, and then go. It'll help keep you straighter. So everybody kick that way for right now. Left hand forward, left leg out. Pull your drawing arm, your right elbow into your spine as you kick. 1, kick, 2, punch. 1, 2. 1, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say, turn. I was so excited. You guys are doing a good job. You can put out your oizuki again if you want, because we'll stay a little more consistent. 1, kick, 2. Excellent, Renee, good job. 1, 2. So Rachel, those are all getting better and more stable. Can you feel the last 2 or 3 or 4? They're much more consistent. So turn. 1 count, kick, punch. Same rules though. So I'm going to say 1, but you're going to think squeeze, punch, like it's 2. You're not just going to skip this part so you can punch. It still has the same dynamic. Ready? 1, kick, punch. 2. Turn. 1, 2. Turn. 1, kick, punch. 2. Turn. 1, 2. Turn. So Neil, you're doing awesome. The only thing I could critique on would be a little bit more legs. After you do this kick, there's a little bit of you that just is happy to fall into place, and a little bit more drive through your other leg into the arm. It's hard because you know your legs are so far away from your torso, but that would be an improvement. Everybody else is looking really good. So Cindy, I know that when you forget and that you start this way, I don't think you feel it, but there's a lot of before you go. And then you remember and you go like this, and it's like, hey, that was very consistent, very straight. So eventually, you absolutely can do that this way too. Your body would stay nice and stable and you would drive, but right now you don't. It has extra movements. So the terrible thing about karate is there's always something better, more to work on, even on the most simplest things. The best thing about karate is there's always more to work on, even on the simplest things. So I have said this many times before, but probably not when Renee has heard. A lot of places where you go, they'll teach you to punch. And oh, that's great. Now do a different punch. Oh, that's great. Now do a kick. Oh, yeah, that's great. And they keep teaching you another kick and another kick. And in a short time, you can do 20 different kicks and 20 different punches, and none of them are any good. They're just barely like the same beginner one you just learned, even years later. In our system, you can learn the front kick and step and punch like we just did on your first day, and 10 years later, you'll still be working on that stupid front kick and step and punch because it's not good enough. There's more to learn. There's better, more efficiency, better dynamics, better breathing. So the only thing I can tell you though is as you get better at finding it, it gets a little more satisfying. Like, yep, this is a good technique, this is good, and oh, damn, that's not good, I'm off balance. And you'll start to feel the difference. And then, of course, there's always, you know, new kata, new techniques, new timing, new variations to learn. But there is something to be said. What it should be is you could learn 50 different techniques really at a surface level, or you could learn 10 techniques and be really, really good at them and have a lot of depth of understanding. We go more for the depth, and it should make you a more rounded karateka, a more rounded martial artist, because your base of understanding will be so much better. So I have gone to Aikido classes, and they were like, wow, that guy's really good. Because I just did what they told me to do, and when I moved, I already moved straight up and down, which no beginners do. They wobble all over. So they were very impressed. Now I went to a judo class. They were not very impressed because I couldn't do anything they were doing. It was too awkward for me to bend and lift and move. I mean, I made it through it okay, but it's always something to learn. Here we go. Let's try roundhouse kicks. You're going to pick your back leg up, Renee, and you're going to twist your hip. So I'm twisting my hip. Some people say like you're punching. And I'm going to tip my hip up and down at the same time, and that picks my knee up. And then you spin around to the target and kick it sideways. So it is easy and complicated at the same time. We will try a few kicks. Put your left leg in front. Kind of now put your hips 45 degrees. Bend both knees a lot. You can pick your hands up. Pick your back, right knee up, and then spin your hip and kick. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2. Pretty darn good. Turn. 1, 2. Turn. Okay, I want to talk about your arms just a little bit. We've done this before. This hand and elbow and forearm are going to stay in place, in space. My body is going to move forward and turn. So it feels like I'm changing places, but really it stays there. Can you kind of see that? So as I do that kick, it's also just going to stay there and wrap into my body. Real tendency on roundhouse kicks to let your arms flop around. Please don't do that. So we'll practice a few times. Put your left leg forward and your hands up in fighting position. You're going to pivot your hip and just leave your leg out there. That's one. And then put your foot down and do another one. Two. Turn. Now when you do it, this arm stays here, but your body screws into your arm. Your shoulder, your elbow, and your fist all stay. One. Down. Two. Turn. One. Down. Two. Down. Switch turn. One. Two. Turn. So kneel. For this drill, your arms are doing exactly the right thing, but your knees are close together like this, which is meaning you're giving yourself this training method, and I want your knees to be far apart. So I'd rather have your knee come out and around, even though you would rarely move that way. You might move that way on a sweep, on an ashibarai where your leg is coming around and lifting. It's a similar idea. But right now you're training your hip and your arms and body for when you kick, so I want your knees to be far apart. Even more, but that was way, way better, way better. Here we go. Left arm forward. One, twist. Drop. Two, twist. Turn. One, two. Turn. Okay. We're going to do 2 twists and then turn and do 2 kicks. So 2 of the primers or practice ones, and then 2 of the actual kick. So please pay attention to your upper body, your support leg, and keeping your knees far apart. 1, cover, 2, turn, 1, 2, turn, 2 practice, 2 kick. 1, swing your hip, 2, swing your hip, turn, 1, roundhouse, 2, roundhouse. Turn. So Yufeng, you have to get your knees further apart. Your right leg was a little better than your left one, but they're still both too close together. So when you kick with your left leg, it was barely 6 inches apart, and I'd want it to be feet apart by the time it gets to the side of you. Ready? Let's just kick. Roundhouse kick, Mwashigiri. 1. That was excellent, John Noel. 2. Pretty good, Rachel. Your knee can still come up sooner. Turn. 1. That was better, Yufeng, but it can still do more. 2. Turn. So everybody remember how we practiced our arms? I hope that you're not just like forgetting and letting them drop when you kick now, because that would be sad. And Yufeng, remember you have a tendency to want to tuck your hip under when you roundhouse kick, and that's the opposite of what you should do. Let it go out. Let your hip come out as you kick and stay out. Better. It'll be a little bit more like an arch. All right, here we go. Arms up. Nice roundhouse kick. Back and forth one more time. 1, round. 2, roundhouse kick. Those are excellent, Neil. Those are big changes. That was awesome. Turn. 1, 2. Turn. Okay, now the recoil idea. Like on the front kick, where we grabbed our own leg and hugged it in. You're going to do that with the roundhouse kick, but again, you have to be careful. You're going to hook over the top of your ankle. So please make sure your hand's out of the way, but you're going to go 1, expand, contract, 2, down. Give yourself time to catch that, and then come down. So there'll be 2 counts. Left leg in front, roundhouse kick, catch your ankle. 1, pressure into the ground. 2, 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, 1, 2. Couple more, turn. 1, 2, 1, 2. So Renee, when you kicked with your right leg, it was awesome. I would give you a gold star. Your left leg, you lost your balance, but still, the good position, good job. Did you have a question, John Noel? You're just moving? All right. 2 more times like this. Catch your own leg. Ready? 1, squeeze, 2, down. 1, squeeze, 2, down. Turn. 1, squeeze, 2, down. 1, squeeze, 2, down. Turn. Try to get that same recoil without the grab. Ready? 1, squeeze, 2, down. 1, squeeze, 2, down. Turn. 1, squeeze, 2, down. 1, squeeze, 2, down. Turn. Now you're going to add a punch. You're going to add a counter punch. So on the first count, you're going to hold your recoil. Remember this arm right here? You're going to roll into it. So it's going to go 1, squeeze, 2, punch. Throw it from your center out towards the target. Way easier if you have a good recoil. Ready? Left leg in front is fine. Hold the kick. 1, 2, punch. Recover. 1, 2. Turn. 1, 2. 1, 2. Turn. 1, 2. Cover. 1, 2. Turn. Try 1 count. Roundhouse kick, counter punch. 1, kick, punch. Recover. 2. Turn. 1, 2. Turn. 1, 2. Turn. Hi up. Hi, rest. I have to say, that's pretty awesome. Everybody got way better. Your balance got better. This is kind of obvious, and most of you did just fine. I just want to point out, though, whatever position you're in, you generally do not want to do a wind-up when you punch. So if I was here doing kumite, and I was going to punch, I would not want to go 1, 2, right? And that would just be telling somebody, here I come, and then go. It's a waste of time and space, and it wrecks your body timing. Your hip and hand should end at the same time. But if you go 1, 2, it's always late. super common for it to be late because it feels more free. So when you're doing this drill, we worked on this arm position. Try to relate it to your center. So you go 1, squeeze, 2, drive. It drives out from your center. It does not go 1, 2, and then you punch when you feel like it. You see the difference? All of you did very good. There's nobody where I'd say, oh, you were winding up. No, but it'll get better over time. It's a little bit like if I'm going to do 2 punches, I aim for the target, 1, 2, and you do your kick, 1, 2. You can do the roundhouse kick, 1, 2. It all aims for there with no space on the inside on your part. No time for an opening for somebody to hurt you or if you lose your balance. Or if you needed to change direction, you would be able to because you're together, you're under control. So it is a little bit of a mistake. Some people, they say a thing that is true, and that is balance is very important. It is, it's very important. But people interpret that as I always have to be in balance. And that's not quite true. Sometimes you're slightly off balance, especially with speed, with combinations, when you're going distance, but you still have control of your balance as much as possible. There's not a falling sensation, out of control falling sensation to what you do. So it's a thing to work on. Rachel, do you now have a question? All right. I think we should end with a kata. Maybe one of each kata. There's four kata. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. Heian Shodan first. Yes. You follow, John? Shanoa? No? All right. On Heian Shodan, you've got room to do 2 steps sideways, and then after that, you'll have to double step every time. I will try to do it the way you have to do it. Renee. Okay? Heian Shodan. Out. Kata. Boy. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1. Now you're going to have to double step. 1, 2, 3. You're going to turn towards your back and do a downward block. 1, 2. Step and punch. 1, 2. 1. In and out. 3 steps forward with the double step. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Turn a knife and block. 1, 2. 1, 2. Make. Tires. So Renee, when you double step, you still want to create the right angle, direction, and momentum. So if I have to double step going this way, I kind of want to go like a half a step or maybe even all the way back and then drive forward and then drive forward. You did this, which is a double step, but then you're not reinforcing the forward drive idea. But I didn't tell you, so you did great. Heian Yondan. Out. Kata. Heian Yondan. 1, 2. Let me go sideways. 1, 2. Side snap elbow. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Head rest. Pretty good. All right, one Bassai Dai, and then we're done. Sorry, Neil. Bassai Dai. I will be sideways, I guess, because it's a little easier to follow. Bassai Dai. Boy. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Big turn, arm up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 80. All right, rest. Awesome, everybody. Thank you all for training. I hope to see you Friday. Bye-bye.